What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three amigos, three bambinos coming together to talk about nerd shit. My name is Luis Gonzalez, and with me is...
Ed Bull.
And Steven Escobar.
That's right, everybody. Here we're going to talk about some news. We got some Harry Potter news. We got some news about the Oscars. We got some new trailers coming out. We got some new movies coming out. We're also going to talk about things that we're into. Ed's into F1. I'm going back into Veep. I don't know, but tune in. If you go down to the description, you can jump to the favorite thing that you want to, that we're talking about. You can just jump right to it. So if you're like, hey, this is boring, I want to talk about this thing, I want to hear about this thing, you can just jump right to it. And you might have noticed that we had an extra episode released this week. We did a Last of Us review. Same crew here, Steven and Ed. We're testing some stuff out. So if you like it, let us know down in the comments below. So we get 2 bonus episodes this week. And also Miguel's not here because he's sick. So Steven is here to tag him out. So thank you, Steven, for helping us out.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I love being here.
Now that I got all that stuff out of the way, let's talk about some news, y'all.
Yes.
Let me take a breath.
Yeah.
That
was excellent. Bravo, though. That was
bravo.
Honestly, I stumbled on some words and I was like panicking. I was like, oh God. I was saying hear and speak. It didn't, you know what? I don't even know why I'm hosting this thing. I feel like I just mismatch words all the time. Okay, let's jump into it right away. Harry Potter.
Okay.
Ugh, there's a new cast. The cast has been announced.
My question is, Ed, why the negativity? As someone who is not a Harry Potter fan, what is it called? Harry, what's his name? I don't even know his name. Okay. So as someone who is completely foreign to the world of Hogwarts, what is the problem? Like, I just don't know. So tell me.
Well, first off, I mean, Luis has also had problems with some of the casting.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a mixed bag is all I can say. It's one where perhaps I'm just like already weary of universes and franchises where we're just like beating a dead horse, and it already. I mean, I guess it was over a decade when the Harry Potter franchise finished.
Recent.
But we had some terrible Fantastic Beasts movies in between.
Oh, yeah.
And I know this is a series, and I think the books are certainly ripe for a series. Like, there is so much detail that, one of the biggest issues with the movies was that they missed out on so many big storylines and characters that, is really good material. And so the series makes sense. It still just weirdly feels fresh. It also just seems typical of a studio move, just like, well, time to kickstart this franchise again because we milked any other possibility dry.
One more dollar.
God damn, I will not make anything original. But so, like, it's a mixed bag. As far as like some of the casting, like, I think me and Luis were both put off by the rumor that John Lithgow was going to be Dumbledore.
Is it because he's not British? They used to do a whole British thing.
For me, it's a little bit of that. Yeah,
Understood.
Sure.
Fair enough.
It's a British story.
Oh,
does he have the accent right or not? Like, I'm going to be feeling like on edge, waiting to be like, is the accent right? Is he not? Is it, when he explodes, does he get, there's the American accent. Like, I'm just going to be thinking about that the whole time, unfortunately.
Because you thought about that, like the second half of the Harry Potter movie franchise with Michael Gambon.
Yes.
Didn't really interpret the character. He just did his thing.
I feel like with John Lithgow, we're pretty safe, though. I mean, he's a pretty serious artist.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I have nothing against John Lithgow. Okay. I enjoy him as an actor. I think he was great. He's played fucking Winston Churchill in The Crown. Was he great in that role? I mean, but it was funny because it was John Lithgow.
Well, he's great in Dexter. I just feel like
Ed's favorite movie, The Conclave.
it was a great 4-star movie. That's all I got to say about that.
It just has a strange taste in my mouth for having John Lithgow as Albus Dumbledore.
Okay.
Like, yes, he can act and can perform and he can do it, but I want somebody who naturally, like, that's the thing is, unfortunately,
There's so many actors out there that
can organically play
and I
this
feel
character.
like they used up all the British actors in the movies. They're like, we're out of people.
I mean,
we run out of British
but then you
actors.
also have that age of that generation of actors that are aging into that.
True,
age.
that's a good point. You're right. That's a really good point.
I just saw, and this is
think about
frustrating too, because I just saw today there was like a, interview or article about Pierce Brosnan talking about the possibility of playing Dumbledore if he had been asked.
Ooh.
And I was like, Pierce Brosnan as Dumbledore? Absolutely. I would have taken that any fucking day. Because I genuinely believe he would have just like played it true to the character. And I mean, what a charming Dumbledore that would have been. With a twinkle in his eye.
Very sexy Dumbledore.
I mean, and yeah, a little bit sexy too. but like, you know what I mean? I was just like, oh man, the best hair though.
Yeah.
Like such a beard. But there's like also a gentleness about Pierce Brosnan.
Sure.
Yes, there's a gentleness.
So I know. Again, I'm not saying that John Lithgow isn't capable of that. It is just like a odd left turn.
And you know what? John Lithgow is just very like he's very recognizable, and it just takes me out of it.
That's
sometimes. Like you're going to be able to see his eyes. You're going to be able to see. I don't know. I just feel like Dumbledore is such a mythical and obscure character that you can't really like latch onto. Like you will never reach the heights of what Dumbledore is at. You know what I mean?
He is grand, he is epic, he is godlike.
Exactly.
Correct.
And you being John Lithgow, I feel like I'm a little too close to you, buddy. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm too connected
Love
with you.
this explanation.
A little just to be like everyday. There's nothing mystical about him.
Okay.
Yes.
Understood. Okay. I get it now. Thanks. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
We have Janet.
Do we know who Harry Potter? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, we don't know who the kids are. We just have the adults and the teachers. So we have Janet McTeer as Minerva.
Let's go
you do
through
it,
the whole
Ed.
list.
Okay.
Ed, you do this because this is, you know.
Someone say, who's the character? McGonagall. Yeah,
Minerva McGonagall. Paapa Essiedu. I'm butchering that name. I apologize. As Severus Snape. Nick Frost as Rubius Hagrid. Luke Thallon as
that feels a little too.
Quirinus Quirrell. Which is kind of a big, that's a big casting, right? And then Paul Whitehouse as Argus Filch, which, as again somebody growing up in England, that just makes perfect sense. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Paul Whitehouse, but
maybe a photo. Yeah,
I mean, you might recognize him, but he's great. And so again, kind of like similar to Nick Frost, that's just kind of like that makes sense kind of casting. I guess, Luis, I am curious to hear about your thoughts about I guess any one of those, but in particular the Nick Frost one. Janet McTeer, I'm only familiar from The Menu.
Oh, is that? I'm actually googling up Janet McTeer right now. She looks like she's been in Ozark, The Menu, Me Before You.
Who is she in The Menu?
She was the food critic.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I guess. You know what? I'm a fickle human being. Looking at the cast, some of these people, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm warming up, but it's just Nick Frost is also someone recognizable. Could he pull it off? Yeah, I think he could. And big guy, I feel like he could do that. I think Paapa Essiedu, I don't really know what he's been in, but he seems like a he could have that Snape-ness to him. Let's see, what has he been in?
Snape is the only character I enjoy in that. Like in the show, I mainly zone out in the movies and stuff, but then Snape comes on and I'm locked in.
Yeah,
Snape is the one I'm
locked in.
Tell me more, go. Like he's the one that really gets me, and his story is awesome. So I guess that's the one I'm. Yeah,
the one that you're concerned about.
But I assume he's going to be great. I don't know. I don't recognize his name, but I give him all the opportunities.
I remember he was in Men.
Yeah, he was the.
I haven't seen the Outrun. And I haven't seen I May Destroy You, but I know it's supposed
I May Destroy You is
phenomenal.
Good. I May Destroy You is cool.
Oh, Gangs of New York. Oh, yeah, okay.
Really?
I've only seen, Gangs of New York, I recognize.
Was he a dead rabbit? Was he? There was like three of them. There was like, oh, sorry, I don't want to get into this gang of cars, but there were three. Like, it was like Leo, and then the kid from E.T., Elliot, and then there was a third one. I assume he was the third one. Okay, cool.
I don't think he was in. I don't think he was in that movie.
Never mind.
Who you're talking about, Ed?
Gangs of London.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gangs of London. I'm sorry. I was thinking Gangs of New York. I'm so sorry.
I was like, hang on.
I heard Gangs. I zoned out.
I thought he said New York. I thought he said New York too. I thought.
Okay, good.
Maybe I did.
Maybe you did. Run the tape. Okay.
Yeah, run the tape.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Gangs of London. Okay.
So at this point, like, we don't know.
Okay.
It's a. At this point, it's like a curiosity. Obviously, it's like a Harry Potter for the new generation. Maybe I needed another decade before we dipped our toes into...
It's set to stream in 2026. Except 2026? Whoa,
that's next year.
That can't be right. It's set to...
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they already had the kids cast.
And they're
just keeping it under wraps.
This one says a 2027 premiere. So I'm getting... Okay, now Deadline, who, is very official, it's saying 2026 or 2027. So...
Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is still like a massive portion of the cast still yet to be announced. Obviously, not even just including the kids, like of the adult cast. It would be cool to see like some HBO regulars, you know what I mean? But it is, I don't know. It's like it's hard to get excited for it at this point.
Tony Soprano.
Yeah,
you're talking about regulars. Yeah.
Oh,
Michael K. Williams, Omar Coleman.
You know what though? If they said like James Gandolfini was going to play Hagrid, I would have been like, yeah, all right.
Heck yeah, yeah.
It's just like I shouldn't have said that. That's my terrible James.
They had like Bill Hader show up as like some sort of I don't know.
He would be the Sorting Hat. Tydick would be the Sorting Hat.
The voice of the Sorting Hat.
That would be good. Yeah,
that could.
Oh, Dobby.
Dobby.
I wonder who's going to be the adult. What's his name? The one who goes Harry Potter. Who's the
Peter Dinklage?
No. What's his name? He's got the white hair.
Oh, Draco. Draco
Malfoy.
Yeah, Lucius. Right? Wait, Lucius is the dad, right?
Lucius is the
Jason
dad.
Isaacs.
Draco is the son. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder who Lucius is going to be. I feel like that's
that won't be until season 2, Chamber of Secrets.
Right.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the other adult roles. They got some more of the professors to fill out.
These are the main ones, though.
Yeah.
Oh, the mom and the dad, the uncles or whatever, the people who take care
of cousin,
Uncle Vernon,
Dursley,
Uncle Vernon.
Who would be Uncle Vernon now?
Nick Frost again.
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Simon Pegg plays Buckbeak, and they have scenes together in the third movie. That's what it is.
I know we were saying like, how could they be doing this again? But Warner Brothers is in debt, and we've had a pandemic. We've had a
some
strike.
Terrible Harry Potter Wizarding World movies. So
we had. Let me tell you what happened: pandemic, strike. The streaming bubble has burst and inflation is up. So you have all four of those things. And so they were, $43.7 billion in debt. Now they're at $39.5 billion of debt at the end of 2024. The Harry Potter film franchise has grossed over $9.5 billion worldwide. And that's just the brand. Yeah, that's the film. So, and when you have new stuff, then you can sell merch. And it's almost like these shows are just like advertisement to like get people to buy merchandise, to get even other advertisers. Yeah.
I mean, be invested in the property, basically, in one fashion or another. Show, books, merchandise, parks, whatever the
Legos,
keep it rolling.
Do we know how much they paid for the rights? Do we have any numbers on how much they paid? Because it's got to be crazy, right?
I think they bought it a long time ago, so they've maintained the rights. How much?
It was originally theirs, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was originally Warner Brothers.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
And HBO's under the...
okay. For some reason, my head switched to WB, but that makes more sense. They bought it before it was...
They said they paid $2 million for the rights.
Whoa! They're bankrupt? Oh my God, they got a better deal than Disney and Star Wars.
What the fuck?
Warner Brothers they paid $2 million for the rights, so that, now they made $9 billion off of it. But
where'd that money go? Oh my goodness! It went all into Spider-Man.
They canceled the Batgirl movie. Remember they were like, we're not doing that movie, the Batgirl movie.
Yeah, they're just like,
they did that for a tax refund or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Harry Potter cast. Yeah, I mean, wow, a very mild, I guess, reaction. Internet, sorry about that, but I guess that's what it is. I guess we'll just wait and see. It's just the John Lithgow of it all. Really, it's like that's what's taking up like the spotlight for me right now. So that's what's bringing it.
It's going to be like literally when the first trailer drops, when I can have even the slightest feeling towards this show. You know what I mean?
Here's my great confusion, though, because it's like, if you make the show, do you make it the exact same? Like, even the theme song. Don't you have to keep the theme? Don't you have to keep everything the same?
You have to keep the theme song.
Yeah. So
I think there are a lot of elements in the books, though. There are a lot of things in the books that aren't,
there's so much more that they can explore. Yeah. I mean, the first movie was pretty thorough, but they didn't have the books.
They didn't have Peeves that they
didn't have Peeves.
The ghost. Like he wasn't there. Like you could include that. Like that's not a huge story arc, but still, it's like there's
I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy. This fucker's everywhere in Hogwarts. He's all over Hogwarts. He's all over Hogwarts.
The Mirror of Erised will be like a whole episode. You know what I mean? Like it'll be. There's a lot to explore.
I guess I'm just more referring to like the look and the feel. Like, think about something like the robes. Imagine you're a costume designer. What are you going to do? You're going to make new robes, or are you just going to copy? Like, what is their goal? What do you think their goal is?
Is it going to be a copy to it?
Okay, or are they going to try to reimagine?
By Nike. Just like athletic,
like an Oregon football.
No, I feel like this is like Star Wars syndrome, where you have to keep it almost the same, so people.
I feel the same,
but it's also an interesting thing that you bring up because when you watch like Batman movies or Spider-Man or whatever, like
there you go.
Every time a hero has a different outfit, and the reason being is because they want to sell toys and merchandise. So if you have an HBO series and they have different robes, then that gives people motivation to be like, I want to buy that robe from the TV series because it looks cooler. Yeah. So it has to be the same but different, which is like Hollywood's MO. They want to capture the same essence, but we want it to look a little bit different.
Like Dune Prophecy,
Dune Prophecy. Yeah. That's a show, right? I couldn't get to the show.
I think, right?
I did one episode and then I was like, I'm not going back to this.
It was a bummer.
But they, I wouldn't say borrowed. They just like took that visual aesthetic. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Harry Potter coming soon.
Harry Potter set for a lot of seasons, a lot of opportunities for it to win Emmys. So we'll just wait to see if it wins an Emmy. But,
best comedy.
Yeah.
But we're not interested in Emmys. We're interested about Oscars. And a thing that is being added to the Oscars is stunt design. Stunts are finally being added into the Oscars. And this is under the heels of casting, which is also being introduced into the Oscars. The stunt design. Now, this isn't stunt performers. This is stunt design. So this will be introduced in the 100th anniversary of the. Why did I say it like that? 100th. I was really trying to hit that TH.
Yeah.
I want that 100th.
It threw it at the end. Yeah.
Listen, it's a big Oscars. You got to hit that TH really hit hard.
Yeah.
So the 100th Oscars, it's going to be introducing stunt design. So that'll be movies that'll be made in 2027. They will be eligible. So that's actually going to give opportunity for other movies that you may not have seen an opportunity to win Oscar, like blockbuster movies, international films, like they've been kind of cast aside, or genre films, horror films we always talk about have an opportunity to bring them in and bring more viewership to the Oscars. Because, if you have a big blockbuster hit in the Oscars, people will watch. Like, remember Barbie?
But without pandering, because the Golden Globes has like best box office winner. which is the
Box office
stupidest
achievement,
fucking stupidest.
It's like they've
fucking
already
category.
won. They already got their award.
The Oscars, the Oscars did dabble with Best Popular Film of the
They
Year.
sure did.
And the backlash was so much they just
that was the Zack Snyder boys came out and they botted the hell out of that. They were like, Snyder's the best at everything.
It was terrible. So like, I mean, it was insulting to stuntmen everywhere. But like, so
I can't get
I'm
over
glad
the
that
fact,
they're doing this.
The Snyder won for best audience reaction or theater reaction. It was to fucking Justice League, the black and white version, or the Zack Snyder version. That shit popped on Max. That never hit theaters, and that beat Avengers when what's it called? Chris Evans gets the hammer.
The portal,
impossible. Definitely a hammer.
What are you talking? And so the Zack Snyder bots. So they're going to go, and then like I said, casting. They are going to be starting with the 98th Annual Academy Awards. So it'll be for movies I think released this year. We'll be able to award them as well. Thank God,
Tom Cruise is finally going to get his Oscar.
Couldn't do Magnolia. Couldn't do it for Magnolia. He's doing it for stunts.
Oh, for stunt design. Yes, actually, yeah. And the guy who I forget his name. I'm looking him up right now. But the guy who kind of did all the John Wick stuff. He's the one who really kind of lobbied this with the Academy. With
Ryan Gosling last year, yeah.
Yeah, and he was just like, hey, we need to have this. And Chad Stahelski, he was the one. He is a former stuntman, and he's a filmmaker now. And he went to the Academy and was like, we got to put this thing in there. So,
that's great. Guys. I used to have a neighbor back when I was in Dallas. I had a neighbor who was a stuntman, and he worked on like films. He worked on Hollywood films. He knew like Keanu and stuff. And I was just like, how are you in the same neighborhood as me? Like, no recognition. He was like out of the industry. His body was like broken, you know, and he was just like done. He just like had to get a new job. And I just remember thinking like, damn, they just use him to like get in that car, crash the car, get a concussion, and then get the hell off my set. And I was like, damn, how do you have as much money as me? Like I was teaching, like you should have more money. It was a real shame. I just remember thinking, wow, they really don't care about you. That's so sad.
And
this is awesome. I'm
such an integral part of movie history.
Mad Max.
Everything.
Oh my God. LED design. Of course, it needs to be recognized.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear this.
About damn time.
Mm-hmm. So watch out for those 2027 movies. I think. Oh, let's see. Actually, I think I was looking up a list of movies like Avengers. I think is the only movie I can think of. 2027 films list release. Let's see.
That doesn't count. It's all going to be CGI.
I know, dude. Don't even get me started about that. I saw the Shang-Chi like behind the scenes video where like Simu Liu worked incredibly hard to get this one bit down where he like flips off the bus and swings back in. And he's like, I got to get the take right. And then they showed the result and it was just fucking CGI. They like CGI'd him. And I was like, well, then what's the point of that?
Why did you make him work so hard? Yeah.
That was my biggest problem with that movie is like they hyped up the action. And then when I saw it, I was just like, well, this looks... There was like
one good moment. It was, and it lasted like 3 seconds. And I was like, oh my God, that reminds me of Jackie Chan. And it's because it was a Jackie Chan student who did the fight directing for it.
Cool.
And it was in the bus and he was like, I don't know. Some of that Jackie Chan is like that comedic.
Yeah. And using things in your environment. Yeah.
Hey, the Batman Part 2 supposedly comes out October. That could win. That could be nominated. We have a Star Wars movie, a Lord of the Rings Hunt for Gollum. I don't know what that is.
What?
I'm just looking through this list. How to Train Your Dragon 2, Avengers Secret Wars, Godzilla and Kong, the new Empire sequel, Legend of Zelda.
Did I mention the CGI?
No way.
The CGI, So it depends on how they utilize all that stuff. But those are the only films I'm looking at right now.
All right.
So that's coming out Zelda. A long time ago, but coming out right now. Actually, what's available right now is the movie Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler. Ed, you put this in the doc.
I did put this in here. First off, it's a movie we've been talking about. We're kind of excited for it. I have my tickets for yesterday night, which is tomorrow night, recording yesterday night when you're listening to this. Thursday, I'm going to go see it in IMAX. I've got my IMAX tickets to go see it.
Well, it's Friday, so how did you feel about the movie, Ed? You've seen it now.
All right. Cut to future Ed right now. Yeah, but in anticipation of that, and when you're listening to this and you're going into this weekend thinking, oh, maybe we should go see a movie and maybe we should go see Sinners. Wouldn't you know it, director Ryan Coogler released a format video about where he's breaking down all the different formats that you can go see Sinners and the differences that you're going to see in each ratio.
It's like filmmaking 101. Like he goes through from like 8mm to 16mm.
It's like a 10-minute video. It's like a 10-minute video.
And it's on Kodak's YouTube channel, which is an amazing. And he's like, "Yo, check this out.
Check that out.
The 60mm film." And it's just the way he's talking so casually,
about it, but he's laying it all out, and you're just like, "Oh man!" And I mean, the hype about this movie has been building over the last month, but it looks good. It was all shot on film. It's shot for IMAX. They've been really pushing that. A lot of movies are pushing for IMAX these days, of course, but. I mean, from the trailers, the film looks like really cool visually. Awesome. So to see that on the big screen. So if you're ever wondering about those differences, they usually do stuff like this whenever Christopher Nolan is releasing a movie. They really they want people to understand what it is that, one, that they're paying for, but what the difference in scope and sound and all of those elements that come together to make that movie experience, and what the filmmaker is trying to show you in the first place, like their whole intention. So
he breaks down even the theater, like you said, specifically theater experience, like this is normal, this is 4DX, this is Dolby, this is Screen X, this is this type of IMAX, this is VistaVision, like, and for the true IMAX experiences, this is what I love. For the very true IMAX experiences, he lists out the 10 theaters that are playing it, because there's IMAX and then there's fake IMAX, and people just kind of utilize it in such a way to kind of promote things. But this is IMAX is utilizing film, and you can see it through film in the biggest screen possible. And he lists it out completely. And the thing is it's not just IMAX. It's also done in Ultra Panavision. And so when he's not filming in this IMAX version, he's filming in this extremely think of Quentin Tarantino's Hateful Eight. That was the last movie to be Ultra Panavision. Think of Ben-Hur, Ultra Panavision.
Oh, cool. I love Panavision then. Okay,
so
cool.
Only 30, I think he was saying, or I was reading somewhere, it was like 30 films have been Ultra Panavision, 20 films have been IMAX. And this man here is putting both of them together. And I don't think that's ever been done before, where you are switching from IMAX to Ultra Panavision.
Yeah.
He reached out to Christopher Nolan for some advice, and he's using the lenses that he did. And it's a really incredible experience and opportunity to be like he is loving film right now. And so if you're interested in having just a very filmatic experience, go to YouTube, look up what Ryan Coogler Kodak or Ryan Coogler aspect ratios. And it's a class. Like he breaks it down to you, like what you're seeing and what you're experiencing. And it's interesting because, we think of film going up and down. And when you watch IMAX, it's actually turned the other direction. It's going left and right or left horizontally to make up so that you have more space. Because the more space you have, the more color, the more richness.
Whoa.
Yeah,
it's the same with the Brutalist. They was shot on VistaVision, I think. Mm-hmm. And so it's the way it's recorded, it goes sideways instead of the typical. So you're capturing that whole massive scope.
Yeah, it's crazy because for worldwide, there's only 10 good locations for IMAX, but for the US, there's to get that really good Ultra Panavision, there's only 5 theaters that have that in the world. Now, if it's me, I have options to both. If I had to pick one, gun to my head, I would do the IMAX because you're getting more visual image for that. And that's the ideal one. I wish I could have IMAX and Dolby sound mixed together, but very interesting video. It's going to be a film I don't know. It's never been done before. So I'm very excited to kind of, especially on top of all that, they're duping Michael B. Jordan. There are 2 of them. So they have this, I was reading this up too. They have this new technology called Halo. And it's basically he puts on this vest and there are just multiple cameras around his face. so that they can perfectly capture his face seamlessly, and then they could implant that on the body double.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's a crazy looking photo. I'll try to share it with you guys. But it's like we're introducing like all this technology, new technology, old technology. It's just like
I never would have expected this with Coogler either. He doesn't. I never heard this from him. I just I have to see this movie. Ryan Coogler, I'm in. Done. I'm sold. I didn't know he was so interested in experimenting like this. I didn't know. That's amazing.
In 25 years, he's going to own this film completely. And he was like, the biggest thing about that is because like as a black man and director, like I think it's important for me to have ownership on this film. And like, it's not something I'm going to do for other films, because that is a very complicated, like just legal thing where it's not really asked a lot where you can own a movie or show. And so
especially between a studio and the director.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish I could find this image, but yeah, it's very, very cool stuff. Check out Sinners. I'm excited to see it. It's going to be tough because that weekend, I'm so busy. I'm going to be so busy. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about what I'm doing later.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing it last night.
Let us know. yeah. Let us know last night how it went.
Still talking about some more new movies.
Awesome.
We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more new movies here. They have trailers. The Life of Chuck.
Shoot through them.
We're going to shoot through them. Life of Chuck. This is a movie that has Tom Hiddleston in it. And this actually won the Toronto International Film Festival Audience Award, right, Ed?
Yeah, correct. Talking about that last year, and then it just didn't. They set the release for this year, but it got a lot of rave reviews. And this was the first look at it from Mike Flanagan. I had to double check that it was the same Mike Flanagan of like certain like nightmares from Netflix.
He does the Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor.
What's he making Mass. Now? What's the movie called?
This is called The Life of Chuck. It's based off of
it's a horror?
It's based off a Stephen King novella.
Which one? I've read them all.
It's called The Life of Chuck.
What? Yeah. I don't know Life of Chuck. I haven't read this.
Hold on. Let's see.
A life-affirming, genre-bending story based on Stephen King's novella about 3 chapters in the life of an ordinary man named Charles Krantz.
Wow. It came out in 2020, the novella.
2024. Okay, 2024. Okay, I got to catch up.
The novella came out 2020, but the movie was released Toronto.
Or at least like in festival. So, yeah, also starring Karen Gillan, fucking Mark Hamill. It almost felt
Jacob
like a
Tremblay and Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah.
Nice.
It almost felt like a Steven Spielberg movie. It's very like almost sweet, sentimental, but like in a nice way.
That's what Stephen King is becoming.
Yeah.
If you've traced his Stephen King's writing career, he's becoming that. He's becoming like E.T. is more of what he's writing now. Like it's becoming more like there's like a positive story or a happy ending. Yeah, he's becoming that in his old age.
Damn, having Steve, I didn't expect to have this kind of commentary with Stephen King. I love it. So now you're able to fluff this piece up a little bit.
That's so interesting. Yeah,
context. Yeah, no, it's like a very like uplifting thing. And it's so interesting to hear Mike Flanagan do it too. But he did his other Stephen King movie, the Dr. Sleep. So he has a relationship. He has a relationship with Stephen King, and so it's interesting that they both are going in this like life-affirming, hopeful movie.
True.
I'm hopeful for Tom Hiddleston too. I think he's like a really talented actor who's kind of just been bogged down by the whole Marvel universe as far as movies are concerned.
Yeah, I want to get him away from the pretty boy thing. I want him to get him like grunge.
Yeah, I think this will be a good. Hopefully a good step for him.
And it's also very curious. I was actually, I had my eye on this movie since like when it won the audience award, Ed. I'm sure you have too. And
I kept hearing about it, Yeah.
And it was curious that it didn't come out last year. And I think it was a strategical move to be like, I don't know, maybe they have a better chance of winning an Oscar this year because audience award winners out of TIFF, I'm reading this here, since 2008, 15 out of the 16 winners of the TIFF Audience Award have been nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, and 5 of those have even won the top prize.
Nice.
So films like Slumdog Millionaire, The King's Speech, 12 Years a Slave, Green Book,
Parasite.
Nomadland, these are the type of films that have won audience awards. So
nice.
Wait, what were they again? Do you mind repeating them just real fast?
Yeah. Slumdog Millionaire, The King's Speech, 12 Years a Slave, Green Book, Nomadland.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, this one's saying La La Land. Was La La Land a TIFF audience award winner too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
It did win for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, it did.
At the Oscars, yeah.
So that's why it's past recipients. Also, okay, so this one's also saying Chariots of Fire, Life is Beautiful, American Beauty, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Silver Linings Playbook. And so it's just like when you hear this movie won an audience award, you're like, oh, I want to see it. And then it got delayed. So there is, I'm very curious to check it out. Life of Chuck comes out June 6th, a day after my birthday.
Yeah,
June 6th.
That's a busy
weekend. Yeah, you were talking about it last episode.
Nintendo Switch 2 coming out on June 5th. So
we know that, or it didn't get delayed?
Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned to Punch Drunk Nerd. Ed, you threw in this random one. I would never have seen this trailer at all. You want to talk about it?
The Roses.
The Roses.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you guys familiar with the 1989 movie, The War of the Roses, with Michael Douglas and Catherine Turner?
I don't think so.
No, I know of like the War of the Roses,
the historical War of the Roses.
Historical, like.
No, so I think the story has been remade a couple of times, but this is basically a remake. It feels maybe. I think the original one was a dark comedy too, so but this one is just a remake of that. Similar scenario: couple getting married. It just goes to, getting divorced, and it just goes to extremes. For comic
Kramer versus Kramer.
It really did. Like I when I watched the trailer, it was like, I'll do anything for you. And she's like, you know what? I believe that. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a sweet story. And it just devolves into like hate. And then even like a gun shows up at the very end. And it's just like the way that it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse between them all. I was like, wow, this trailer is really like doing a good job of kind of executing that.
For the audience, real quick, it's a tinderbox of competition and resentments underneath the facade of a picture-perfect couple is ignited when the husband's professional dreams come crashing down. Starring Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch in the title or titular couple. But this movie also has like Kate McKinnon, Allison Janney, Andy Samberg. Like. I'm kind of like, this is a cool cast, and the trailer looks like a lot of fun. Who doesn't love Olivia Colman, but like Allison Janney as well.
It won me over as the trailer kept going. At first, it felt like it was like a cheesy rom-com or something, but I think that was the intent.
Yeah.
Well, it's
like picture perfect, right? It's I think this is a fun role, and this could be like a fun little player later in the year. I don't know. Hopefully.
This is interesting. Not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera, we have Tony McNamara, who wrote the script for The Favorite, Poor Things, 2 films directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. And they were nominated for Best Original Screenplay. And he created the comedy drama series The Great. Oh, brother. Okay.
Oh, man.
This
might be really good. Yeah.
This might be good. Yeah, I like that. And then it's also directed by
Jay Roach.
90s like comedy director Jay Roach, who did the Austin Powers film series. He did Meet the Parents. He did just all of those movies, and it's just like it's crazy. He was gone for a bit, so it's nice to have him come back. It's a very interesting like pairing
project, But I'm
to
here
have the writer and the director together like that.
Yeah, I'm here for it. That'll be fun. I think. I hope.
Does seem cool. Does seem interesting. Really interesting. Especially with the amount of comedians they seem to have cast.
Okay, well, hold on, Steven. You want to talk about casts? Let me tell you about casts.
I want to talk about casts.
This next thing is Peacock's Poker Face Season 2. A great little weekly weekly mystery show. Natasha Lyonne, thank you very much. And it's created by the guy who did Knives Out, and his name is
Ryan Johnson.
Thank you very much. And is a play on the inverted detective format made popular by Columbo. And so basically the premise is she can always tell when somebody is lying, like no matter what. And she uses those skills to kind of solve a crime. And she's actually running away from somebody. So as she's running away, she hits these little towns and she stumbles upon murders that she, finds herself solving.
Yes.
So it's very fun. But I wanted to call out the guest stars in season 2. Now, hold on.
Insane.
I'm going to need everyone to just I don't know, get some coffee. Here we go.
Meryl Streep.
Here we go.
Denzel.
Aquafina, Corey Hawkins, Simon Rex, John Mulaney, Sam Richardson, Giancarlo Esposito, Katie Holmes, Kumail Nanjiani, Ben Marshall, BJ Novak, John Cho, Haley Joel Osment, Alia Shawkat. She's the one from Arrested Development.
Yes. Maybe.
Jason Ritter, Melanie Linsky, Lily Taylor, Natasha Leggero, Adrian C. Moore, Rhea Perlman, Taylor Schilling, Simon Helberg, Justin Theroux, and I think that's it, right?
Did you say Haley Joel Osment?
Haley Joel Osment, yeah, let's add him in there too.
Ego Nwadum from SNL.
Oh, say it again?
Ego Nwadum from SNL. BJ Novak, did you say that?
Yeah, Devontae Gator. Wait, is that the same guy from what's it called? Dick? It is from Dave. The Dave show. Have you seen Dave, Steven?
I've heard of Dave. I haven't seen it, but I have it saved to watch, like on my list.
There's a character in there named Gator, and he's hilarious. That's going to be great. So, Poker Face comes out. When does it come out, Ed? May 8th.
Jesus. Yeah, coming out soon. It's a busy couple of months, fellas. Got Andor coming out later this month.
Andor!
I'm not going to be able to get Miguel to watch that.
I can't wait.
Hey, he'll never watch it. He'll never watch the best thing that Disney Plus has ever made, is the thing,
He was like, oh yeah, I watched a scene on my phone at work. He's like, no. Yeah, you remember that. Trying to get him to watch Andor.
And then
the best thing Disney Plus
ever made. Last but not least, I guess, unless you have anything else to say, Poker Face, we have Ari Aster's film, Eddington. Ed,
if I had remembered about this movie, it would have been on my most anticipated. But yeah, the new movie from Ari Aster, his last movie was Beau is Afraid. He's back with Joaquin Phoenix, and wouldn't you know it, Pedro Pascal as well. So a very
Austin Butler and Emma Stone too.
Austin Butler, Emma Stone. Yep. The immediate names are not recognizable to me, but anyway, awesome. Very stripped bare teaser trailer of Joaquin Phoenix's character scrolling on his cell phone, watching.
Was it scary?
No, I don't know.
Anxiety.
I think there's some anxiety to it.
The plot is basically in May of 2020, a standoff between a small town sheriff and mayor, played by Pedro Pascal, sparks a powder keg as neighbor is pitted against neighbor in Eddington, New Mexico.
And to further add on to that, it is a contemporary Western black comedy film.
Yeah. Now, I have so many mixed feelings about this.
I can't wait.
Beau is Afraid, the first hour is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is kind of perplexing. And also exhausting. That's the one thing.
Exhausting.
But obviously, Hereditary, Midsommar, I think Ari Aster is a very interesting director, and he's one I'm prepared to keep showing up for. It could be interesting. And this movie, along with Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, we got these kind of gonzo fucking movies pitted against each other. I don't know. I'm excited. This is going to be cool. A weird.
I'm interested to see him do just like straight up comedy, because the Beau is Afraid still had some like, especially the second, like some horror-esque elements, but now he's just like, I'm going full.
I love Beau is Afraid.
Tilt.
Yeah. I loved it.
So they're screening it at Cannes. Eddington. and it's expected, but not yet confirmed, for July 18th.
Oh. July 18th. I feel like that's a big release date. Wait, for theaters? For movie theaters? Or
Yeah. I mean, Bo was in the summer. That was like a summer release.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
I've got a really controversial statement, and I feel free to attack me. In the comments, you can say, this guy's an idiot. Get him off the podcast, okay? This is how I feel. I am, at this point today, more excited about Ari Aster's next project than I am about Robert Eggers. That's my controversial sentence. I believe that Ari Aster will give me a better experience than Robert Eggers will. I have now been let down by Robert Eggers too much. I love Robert Eggers. I think he's great, but he will not fool me a third time. Ari Aster, every single time, is delivered. I love Beau's Afraid. Beau's Afraid made me feel sick.
I loved it. Beau's Afraid.
That's my controversial take. Just for me. Ari Aster makes me feel sick to my stomach.
He gives you a more visceral reaction
than
you would from Robert Eggers, is what you're saying.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Robert, The Witch, like Robert Eggers when he started, I was like, holy. And then just sort of, I've been like, it's not working as much. It's like a drug that's wearing off. Whereas Ari Aster's getting more and more intense. I'm getting scarier and I'm getting more afraid every time he releases a movie. I'm like, oh no.
I mean, after Beau's Afraid, that's the thing, is like, you don't know what the fuck the next movie is going to be.
And I get why it wasn't popular. This is why I say, feel free. I know it's controversial. I'm not saying it's for everyone. I'm just saying for me, Beau's Afraid was perfect. Like, it was the exact way my anxiety feels at all times. Like, he wrote the movie and he was like, you and me, we suffer the same diise. With Robert Eggers, I feel like we're sort of
and they've clearly drawn the kind of like line of style. You know what I mean? Like, Robert Eggers is clearly going for this kind of gothic collection of storytelling and telling dark fables and stuff like that. Whereas Ari Aster, he started strong in horror, has actually tried other genres and stuff like that.
That's a good point.
Which
That's a good way to put it.
I'm not against at all. And I know, because they both kind of kicked off at the same time. I know.
I've
made that comparison too, and I think after Midsummer, people were still making that comparison. But yeah, Beau's Afraid really kind of mixed that up a bit. But again, to his credit, I'm definitely more intrigued by whatever comes next, and just seeing that trailer of Joaquin Phoenix scrolling through all those different things, and Emma Stone, who's also like in this wonderful time of her career right now, Pedro Pascal, let's step away from like the big studio shit. I want to see you do some weirder shit. Like the fact that one of my favorite things that Pedro Pascal has done lately was in Drive Away Dolls in a Coen Brothers film. Like, I was just like, he needs that more like auteur. I know that sounds pretentious, but like, he needs those like directors to really like hone in on his talent. Like, because it's a fine line of just being oversaturated of Pedro Pascal right now, especially this year alone. The Last of Us is already the second or third thing he's had released in the last few months.
Working.
We've still got Fantastic Four still coming out.
That's right. He's Mr. Fantastic. I forgot all about that.
It's not a Pedro Pascal light world right now.
Let me look up his IMDb right now. Let's see what
I saw. Well, on IMDb there was like, they're like stars on the rise, and one of them was like Pedro Pascal. I was like, where have you been? They always do that. They always go stars on the rise, and they pick like Margot Robbie.
So yeah, we have.
We know he's already risen.
Yeah, he's already been here. What are you talking about?
On the rise. That's why IMDb is like,
The Last of Us, Gladiator 2, The Wild Robot, The Uninvited, Drive Away Dolls, Freaky Tales, Strange Way of Life,
Gladiator 2,
Housebroken, The Mandalorian, The Bubble, Here Comes with a Bird, The Unbearing Weight of Massive Talent, The Book of Boba Fett, Calls, We Can Be Heroes, Wonder Woman. I haven't seen any of these. This man works. And what does he have coming up? Yeah, Avengers, Mandalorian. Okay, so just a bunch of stuff. Materialists. He's in Materialists. That the movie by
Celine. Celine.
You know Celine
Dion.
Celine Song. Is that her name?
Song. Yes. Thank you.
My heart will go on. My heart will go on.
Song.
Which I'm a little bit.
But Cautiously optimistic, I'll say.
Cautiously optimistic. She made one of my favorite movies, and now she's made this movie that I think
she's earned the right.
She's earned the right to experiment.
Exactly. We'll see.
You know who's
that's another one of his roles. Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, Chris Evans, and Madame Web. Dakota Johnson.
It's actually just a Marvel movie in disguise.
Yeah,
you got Captain America, Mr. Fantastic, and Madame Web.
The three greatest Marvel characters of all time.
Amazing. So that's
cool.
Oh my God, I lost the sheet. So Eddington. We'll check that out. Oh, I'll tell you what. One thing that Robert Eggers
and Aster
will have in common, and always have in common, there will always be someone naked in their movies.
Yeah.
Doing disgusting things.
That's why we always go back to it.
Always hanging dong.
Give us that weird, uncomfortable nudity, please.
Who made Men?
That was Alex Garland.
Who's that guy?
Alex Garland.
Yeah.
Okay, him too. He's also crazy. I like his stuff. Civil War. He's also him, Ari Aster. I look at them as like brothers.
Well, you know what? I also not after this movie, but like Ty West. He did X, and he did.
Oh yeah,
I need to see more of him.
We did see it together.
I need to see him outside of Pearl now.
I know. Now that we're done with that, let's move on. Let's try something else. I feel like there's like another horror person that I'm missing, but. Oh, well.
Yeah, me too. I feel like there's another missing. Sorry.
Let's see. Horror directors. This whole show is just me Googling something and see what comes up. Okay. Whatever. So moving on to what we're into. This is the part that we what we're into. Steven, are you into anything? You know what?
There is something I made. I was going to switch headphones real fast because my battery's dying, so I wanted to see if I could you do Ed, and let me see if I can.
What are you into?
Just back, it's that time of year. I finally got back into Formula One Drive to Survive. I just kind of rushed through that this week. Aside from that, I've just been watching a boatload of movies, but nothing really to talk about. There's cool episodes for anybody who keeps up with Formula One. That one race with Max Verstappen. I mean, it covers last year's season, so it's a little behind the times, but there's some great races in there. But Drive to Survive, you need to find some Formula One lovers out there to come on. We
need to have a spin-off show where it's all about Formula One racers, like Welcome Back to Punch Drunk Race or something like that, and then you and your little friends
Punch Drunk Race.
Then you guys can have your little podcast talking about race and stuff. Steven, can you hear me? I know you're putting on headphones.
I can hear you. I'm worried there's an echo. I can hear you, but I'm worried there's an echo. You can't hear yourselves?
I can't hear myself.
Good. Then I can hear you. If you can hear me, we're good.
I was going to say one that I wanted to bring up was Daredevil. I'm watching Daredevil. I'm
so glad you chose it over White Lotus, and Miguel isn't here to defend it, so too bad. Yeah, good.
You know what?
We're not talking about White Lotus.
So fuck White Lotus. No,
he's gone. Screw him. White Lotus toilet. If he wanted to defend it, he should have been here.
I tell you what, there was a moment when it was Daredevil, Severance, and White Lotus. I watched each episode of those things, and it was like, I guess we got to watch it. And Severance did get better by the second half of the series. White Lotus seemed like a bore, and then Daredevil, almost the first freaking
right away
5-10 minutes, I was locked in.
Same.
And there is a moment that happens at the beginning that I won't spoil, where it's like, oh, how wonderful! I'm so happy that this is happening, and then it's like, oh, never mind. This is going another direction that we're going.
Yes. How far are you in a Daredevil? If you don't mind?
I think I'm in episode 4 or 3.
Okay,
3 or 4.
Did you see the trial of someone's on trial? Did you see that episode? The trial.
I did see that episode, the trial of him, and then they were like.
And then it ends, how it ends and everything. And just.
I think maybe 3. I think I'm on 3 then.
I think that's how 3 ends. I can't remember, but maybe you're right. Maybe I think 4 might be the trial. Okay.
How many are there?
9, because the last one was just released and I haven't watched it yet. So the finale
just released, the finale?
Yeah, just came out yesterday. And they set it up in the penultimate episode, last week's episode. They set it up where I kept going, the episode's about to end. 3, 2, 1. Nope. It went to another scene. 3, 2, 1. Nope. Like people were coming into a room. Like I don't know. The Hulk comes in, and then Iron Man comes in.
And that kind of situation.
It has to end. It doesn't end. They just keep coming in the room, and then it ended, and it's like the next episode is going to be a bloodbath. Like it's going to be all of them together.
And Charlie Cox is just fantastic as Daredevil.
Fantastic.
Like he totally captures him. I mean, I'm so happy that they were able to resurrect.
Me too.
This, we have Andor.
I walk
Andor
around
for Disney Plus, and then we for Star Wars, and then we have Daredevil.
Born Again. I walk around talking like Kingpin a lot. Well, this is the peanut butter sandwich I'm going to make today. Yeah, I do that all the time. I just love it.
Yeah. I need to watch it so that I could really lock into it, but I definitely do that all the time. Like, Sarah, I need to go out and get some gas or something like that,
Horrible. I agree. I like it a lot. I think it's. I brought this up to a few people, and they've kind of been like sometimes this happens with y'all, where like I'll be on the podcast and I'll say, "Here's a feeling I have," and all three of you will frown. I'll be like, "Okay, don't share that feeling again."
No.
So it's like that with Daredevil, where I'm like, I really like the changes they made because they took out some cast members, and I think that's exactly right. Like I think if I'm a producer. And I care about artists, I get rid of the non-artists, and they did do that. And I feel like that's a good thing. They said, look, we're trying to get the best of the best, and you're not the best of the best. I know, it's rude. And that's what I mean. People were like, how dare you? No, I mean it.
Did you? Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna. Did you also not like Bryan Cranston's wife in Breaking Bad? Were you one of those people?
Season 1, yeah, but as it went on and Heisenberg became the devil, you realize she's exactly right. Yeah, in season 1, she's rough because he's not Heisenberg yet. But when he becomes Heisenberg, he's violated the oath. He's violated wedding vows. That's a violation of.
I'm just saying, some of those characters are crush worthy. I'm like, you can.
For sure. But it's like, look, we're gonna like. I saw a lot of complaints about this show online when it first came out. The first episode came out. There were like 1 million complaints. People just didn't like it, and it's fine. It's fair. But it was like things like that. Like they got rid of this actor, and I'm like, that's why I like it. This actor should not be taking up screen time.
I think it sets this up into a direction where Daredevil needs to go. Right now, he is. It's all. I mean, what I'm getting is like it's all about. It feels like Joel a little bit. Last of Us in our last episode, where you try to hide who you are, but sometimes you can't really escape from the truth of that. And so what happens when you are under the flames, like your true character comes out sometimes. Yes. So I'm still catching all the themes and all these things. So I'm like I said, I think I'm at the end of episode 3. But I'm going to keep watching it. I'm very excited. I'm having a great time.
I guess what I'm trying to say is it's dark. It's like I shouldn't say they took away characters who aren't good artists. That's rude. I guess what I meant to say was they took away characters who aren't dark. This person's not dark. This person's cute and light and soft. You got to go
1000%.
Because we're doing something horrifying and you are not horrifying and you can't do horrifying. You got to go. And they did that. They took people out of the show because we're not doing cartoon Daredevil. We're doing blood and guts.
And Daredevil. I think it keeps it focused too. Like sometimes you can meander a little bit. And I think this one,
This is, it's just dark. Oh, I guess I was going to say, because the trial episode ends in just a horrifying way. I have not felt hatred. Like I hate Kingpin and I hate Bullseye. I didn't feel that in the first 3. There was like times where I'm like, go Daredevil, but I didn't feel hate. I didn't feel I need to break this man's neck. Now that's the way I feel. I have to kill this man. I have to murder people. That's a darkness that I think is Daredevil in the comics and the original. That's who he is. There's a darkness and a murder drive in him that was kind of cartooned away in some of the Netflix series. And I don't mean to be rude to Netflix. Thank you, Netflix, for doing it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you were a cartoon. No, it needed to be that. It's just that was the halfway point. It's time to get out of the cartoon and get into darkness. And this show is just pure darkness where good guys, children die and stuff. It's just like too bad.
Not literally because the guy's blind.
And it's darkness. We see through his eyes the whole time. It's all black. Yeah. But no, I appreciate the darkness and the cruel political reality of it that I think is missing from almost any superhero story is the cruelty. And that's fine because they're cartoons, but there's a cruelty that can be injected that in Daredevil, I think needs to be injected. And I would love to see Luke Cage and Jessica Jones get this cruelty treatment rather than the cartoon treatment they got and Netflix.
Well, Jessica Jones season 1 was pretty good. That's what
I was going to say. But I hear you. I have a big problem with Kilgrave as a character. I think it's a mistake writing wise because you have a character who can do anything. He can move people's mind. He's a Jedi, and then he just doesn't. And so you're stuck with a lot of writing problems. And that's what I mean by cartoonish, where it's like, he just
right. Well, I guess I want to rewatch it and see it again because I think there are motivations to.
He's OP. Kilgrave is OP, and you put an OP guy into that's ridiculous. And the season 1 I think suffers because of that. Kilgrave has to always just be like, I won't kill you. And let's meet again. I won't kill you. Okay, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
he needs to be ruining lives.
But he also could be bored with like it's so easy for me to ask somebody. So now I have to I want that thrill of convincing someone I want you.
Good point.
I want you to make that decision. And I want that fix.
Free will. He wants for will. Yeah, good point. That's a good point. Anyway, that's all. I'm also watching Daredevil, and I love it to death. And I think the criticisms are hysterical because they're always like. Someone said what happens at the beginning, it doesn't make any sense. And then someone under the comment in TikTok was like, this is literally word for word in the comic Born Again. Like, oh, you don't read the comics. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They quoted it. But it's stuff like that where I just go, I think a lot of people didn't understand how dark Daredevil is supposed to be. Yeah. It's supposed to be cruel and evil and guilty and cruel. And I think a lot of that was missing. But I love, I'm also obsessed with the current season of Daredevil.
Was that what you were going to talk about when I was saying what we're into? Well,
oddly enough, I am into Golden Girls. I am watching all of Golden Girls.
Oh, that's great.
I started in January, and I think I'm now in season 5. There's like 7. So I watch a couple episodes a day, every day, and I've been getting through Golden Girls. And I got to tell you guys, the writers and the creators of the show are insane. You don't know how crazy this show is. Like they'll move a body or like they're insane. It'll be a psychotic event that is occurring every episode, especially seasons 1, 2, and 3. And then they kind of calm down and get into like real world issues.
Yeah.
But season 2, they're like, my nephew wants to be a skydiver or something. And they'll go skydiving. Like it's insane. I didn't realize Golden Girls was so wild. But it is wilder than almost any sitcom I've ever seen, especially for that era. They're actually crazy.
I've seen like a handful. I've seen a handful of those episodes, and Sarah always has these morning shows that she'll watch. Like we were watching Frasier, and then Cheers, and now she's gone back and rewatching Gilmore Girls. Nice. But when that wraps up, I feel like this is like a perfect one to start up again because I think it is. It's funnier than it should be. Do you know what I mean?
It should be.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be this funny. And also, like for that time, like who would have known that the Golden Girls would have been even made in that time?
And they're dirty. Like they're making dick jokes and stuff. It's like dirty chaos. I just can't believe it's like 1985 was when season 1 came out. These are old women, and they're making dick jokes. They're making sex jokes. They're making violence jokes. And then they like kill someone accidentally and they gotta like, oh no, I chop up the body. Like it's crazy. I didn't realize it was so insane, but you're right. For the time and for women, what a revolutionary show.
Yeah.
I also heard it was one of the first shows ever where there's only like 3 or 4 shows in history that have won Emmys. Everyone won an Emmy at the top level. So all 4 of them won Best Actress, and then the directors won and the writers won and the producer. They like swept the Emmys all the season. Yeah, so and there's only like 3 or 4 shows that exist like that, where everyone got an Emmy for the top award, and they deserve it because these ladies are perfect and the writers are perfect. I didn't realize the show is so perfect. So I recommend Golden Girls to literally anyone.
I've watched big chunks of it randomly throughout the years. I don't know why, just like the people I'm with at the time. But yeah, it seems to.
It's funny.
It seems it just like it resonates, clearly. I like so many like great hit shows, like they endure. So I mean, it's just,
and the key is that they are truly talented. Like I'm watching an episode and I'm just going, these are the best of the best. Like these 4 women are truly just geniuses. Like
incredible comedic timing, just genuine. Yeah,
it is insane how good they are. I also saw a statistic that was like B. Arthur, who did All in the Family and then Maude. She built like a whole career of early television, was never nominated for an Emmy. And the first time she was nominated for an Emmy, she lost to Betty White on the show. Like the first time she was nominated, she lost.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just, they are truly outstanding. Every episode, I'm just stunned that they have the talent level is just outstanding. So watch it. You'll love it.
I always joke around thinking that when Miley Cyrus hits like 70 or 80 and they rebooted the Golden Girls, she could play Blanche.
Blanche Devereaux.
Yeah, Devereaux.
Yeah, I agreed.
Speaking of women, I also watched. No, incredible.
That might be your best segue yet.
Better be good, by the way. This better be good.
No. Yes, because genuinely, like speaking of incredibly talented comedian women, I've been rewatching a show that I actually don't think I ever really finished, and I was shocked by it. And I think I missed the last season. And for some reason, I just wanted to see this actor again. I've been rewatching Veep.
Yeah. Love Veep.
And I just like, I am in love with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I think she's just fucking perfect, seamless, organic, natural, great comedic timing, like flawless. Like she just rolls off humor. And
it's one of those, rare comedic role or any role that just like fits the person so perfectly.
She's like, I always say she's the Meryl Streep of comedy, the way that she's able to execute things. Because she was winning Emmys all the time when Veep was out. It was like, Julia's Dreyfus. So it was, I'm just having a ball with it. And I don't know why. It's funny to compare it with like the political time now, because it's like, she's like, oh no, she ate a watermelon incorrectly.
Right.
Woo-hoo, and they're like, they make fun of her forever. And it's like, oh man, things are so different.
Because it's such a joke.
Like they made her they made fun of her for squeaky shoes, and it's like Squeaky Meyer, and it's like, oh my god, yeah.
I went to school for politics. Like that's why I studied was political science in college. Now it's like, throw away everything we studied. It's all done. It's all over. Yeah, all the rules, all the study, it's done. It's all over. It's all completely wrong. Like Dan Quayle got in trouble because he misspelled potato. That era is dead. Like it's over. Dukakis on the tank. Forget it. There's no such thing as a mistake anymore. It's over.
So I'm having a fun time with that one. And then the last thing I'll end with this episode with is this is a big weekend, y'all, and it may not be a big weekend for you, but it's a huge weekend for wrestling fans, because this weekend is
Jesus Christ,
WrestleMania. WrestleMania on 420. So we're getting lit up, watching wrestlers doing their thing. This is the Super Bowl of WWE. So the whole year kind of builds up to these storylines. And I don't know if you heard in the media, but like John Cena recently, he turned quote unquote heel. John Cena's been like he's been like a good guy for 20 years, and only recently he turned heel, and he's facing off against the current like WWE champion. So that's going to be like a very big match. It's a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday. When their other premium live events are typically 1 day only.
Where can we watch it?
You can watch it on Peacock. But if you want, you could check it out if you want. But I'm excited for it. I get to kind of like be with some friends right there. I wish you guys could come. I remember I
would sit down for a WWE game.
I think being with friends is the best part of it all, because what did I do? I saw Survivor Series. Bryce, pay attention. I saw Survivor Series, and I was with my group of coworkers, and I was laughing, guffawing, and then I took a moment and I was like, man, I miss y'all. Like I miss Steven, Ed, and Miguel. I wish they were here that I could all laugh together. Because sometimes like sometimes it's funny, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's crazy and actiony. So it's a big event happening this weekend, and that's all I was gonna say was I'm ready for WrestleMania.
You think it'll ever die? I like to think that it'll be here for another 200. As long as American flag waves, I like to think they'll be.
1000%. Yeah. I mean, and
so
they just got
much longer.
They're part of
so we got about 15 minutes. Yeah.
No, they're part of TKO, which is a newly formed public company. So you can buy stock in TKO, It's one guy. They unified UFC and WWE under one company called TKO. So they're public now, and Vince McMahon is no longer running the show. He's out. So there's been all these new storylines. There's been new ways that they've been developing stuff that were kind of problematic or stupid before. And so, yeah, it's an interesting time to be a wrestling fan.
Cool.
Speaking of that, if you are a wrestling fan, you can tune into my other podcast where I talk about wrestling stuff. It's at the WWE podcast. However, the problem is you have to pay to get the episode because it's through Patreon and it's a special episode.
Special.
It's very like, you really got to be into it. So for maybe the half person that listens and they're like, oh, maybe me, I'm willing to spend $1 to listen to you.
Big E, we're talking to you.
It's WWE podcast. So yeah, no, I think that's it, guys. We did it. Steven, thank you so much for coming on this episode.
Always.
I'm glad it worked out. Okay. So tune in next week. I won't be here next week. But then I know I've got a crazy life going on, but the following week we will be doing something big, something huge. We will be having our summer movie wager where I will be defending the summer movie wager title right here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I find a way to get that belt.
You want to win this belt, Steven?
One day, you hear me. Wait, where's the microphone? Hold on. One day, I'm going to get my hands on that belt, so you better guard it with your life. I'm talking to you in the top stands, and you. I'm coming for the belt.
Yeah, brother. No, the summer movie wager's coming up soon where we all bet what movie is going to make the most money in the box office. The first movie that kicks off is Thunderbolts on May 2nd. So, it's coming up very soon. We're going to make our movie picks, make our list. Tune in for that episode. That's always a fun episode. And the winner will be getting this newly minted belt here.
Incredible.
5 pounds, this thing feels like. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you guys for listening.
Now, Ed, before you leave, Ed, this doesn't drive you crazy. You don't want that belt with everything inside it. This would drive me nuts.
I've shed my tears and my rage over losing the past 2 years, Stephen. It's an internal battle that I'm dealing with.
You won the very first one, Ed. You won the very first one. No one can take that away from you.
Somewhere over there on that belt, I'm going to just when I win it back, I'm going to etch 2 strikes under my name.
There you go, Ed. See, that's the kind of talk I want. When you win it back,
I want to hear a little jealousy.
This year.
Yeah.
Anytime now, baby. I'll see you soon. Daddy will see you soon.
Tune into that episode. If you into Last of Us, tune in our last episode. We got a lot of episodes coming up every week. But until then, it's been me, Luis Gonzalez, and with me has been
Ed Bull
and Steven Escobar.
And until next time, later, gamers.
Sorry.
What was that? Was that on Luis?
That was me. That was me trying to do a soundboard, but that was super echoey.
It was pretty good.
So good luck.
Pretty good. What was it? I gotta pee.
I gotta pee. That's Forrest Gump.
I gotta pee.
I gotta pee.
All right, see you later.